Hello and welcome to Total Health with Dr. Nick, where my purpose is to inspire, empower, and motivate you to live longer, healthier, and more abundant lives. In today's video, I want to talk to you about the top 5 intermittent fasts. Yes, there are 5 different intermittent fasts. In fact, there's some other ones too, but these are the main 5 that I wanted to talk about today. And I guarantee you, these are fasts that you're going to want to know about because so many people are getting into intermittent fasting. You're hearing about the great results of it, but yes, there are 5 different types that can kind of give you some variations. It's not just the standard type. There's other types that you can do that I think you'll find really, really beneficial. So you want to make sure you watch to the end and see every single one of these 5 types. Before we get started, you know I always love to give a shout out to my keto rock stars out there because you guys are inspiring so many other people. And this one has a lot to do with the benefits of intermittent fasting. So I wanted to give this one to you today. And this one comes from Elise. And Elise writes, thank you so much. Love, love, love your channel. Thank you so much for helping me understand fasting and the keto diet. By the way, I was pre-diabetic with a fatty liver back in March of 2018. My A1C was 5.8, and they wanted to give me meds. They wanted to give me metformin, and it went down to 5.5, but I did not want to take the meds, so I started fasting 16-8, and we'll talk about that in a moment, what that means, or 18-6. Eating healthier and stopped taking the meds for 2 weeks. When my doctor took my blood test, and my A1C is now 5.5, and no more fatty liver. Thank you so much. And that was from Elise Lopez. And Elise, you are a keto rock star, and I thank you so much for that testimonial. But that really just goes to show you the power of intermittent fasting and how valuable it is to absolutely change your life. You know, fasting is something we did for millennium. This is something that's basically inborn and wired within us, that there were times when we didn't eat. You would hunt and forage and maybe catch some wild game and you know, eat, like basically feast or famine, and there were times when we just didn't eat. So this is what our body is hardwired to do, but in today's culture, there is no famine. You don't ever get that. You've got a refrigerator that basically that's your exercise, where you're walking over to your refrigerator for many of us. So the thought of a famine or the thought of fasting is foreign to so many of us, but this is becoming so popular, so mainstream now, that I wanted to give you the 5 top intermittent fasts. And remember, like I said, watch to the very end. And if you like what we're talking about, make sure you like, you care, of course you care, you share, you comment, and subscribe. But there are a lot of different fasts. Now, this is mainly about intermittent fasting, but notice that there are so many other kind of fasts out there. There are water fasts, where you're just drinking basically water. And I think the record is about 120 days or so where somebody didn't eat anything but just had water. So it might even be a couple of days more or less than that, but it's in that range. You could do a juice fast where you're just having some type of juice, maybe kale juice or broccoli juice or some type of vegetable juice. You can maybe do, I've even heard of MCT oil fast where someone just has MCT oil for about 3-4 days, and you could do a bone broth fast. So there's a lot of different kinds of fasts. But primarily in this video, I'm going to be talking about intermittent fasting and the types of that. So what I want to talk about briefly is just some of the benefits of fasting overall. And I did this before. In fact, I just did a video on the 13 mistakes people make with fasting. So go back and watch that one. But I'm going to go through these pretty quickly because I've covered these on previous videos. But very simple. A lot of people just use it for weight loss. That's really what so many of us are using it for, is because you know it's a great way to lose weight. It can improve blood sugar because you're giving your body time not to have so much insulin secretion in your body and your blood sugar levels come down. Heart health, it's proven to be great for heart health. Probably because it's got a lot to do with the anti-inflammatory benefits and the fact that it really gives your body a chance to clean up old worn out cells called autophagy, where your body has the time now where it's not digesting foods, it's going in and getting out free radicals, and free radicals of course are damaging to the heart, reduces inflammation, protects the brain, as I mentioned, cell autophagy, and reduction of oxidative stress. You know, these reactive oxygen species we get when we eat our standard American diet or wherever you are in the world. So many times we don't give our bodies a chance to just take a break, take a rest, and cleanse out and get out old worn out cells, like I said, with autophagy, and really get out a lot of the free radicals and give our body a break. So Number one is probably the one most people are aware of, and this is really just a time-restricted fasting. And in this case, this is just like what Elise used, where it was a 16-8 schedule. And what that simply means is that you eat only 8 hours a day. And I don't mean you eat for 8 hours, but you eat in an 8-hour window. And you might have 2-3 meals during that time. It's very easy to have 3 right in there. And you then fast for 16. Well, this works really well because most people will start at, say, 8 o'clock at night and won't eat until about noon the next day. So it works really well for most people's schedules. But one of the things I talked about in my previous video about mistakes people make is not making it geared to your lifestyle. What if you're a nurse? What if you're a truck driver? What if you work the night shift, the graveyard shift as we call it, and you can't fast during those times? Well, just change it for your style. But a 16-8 fast or an 18-6 fast, or sometimes people even do a 24 fast where they fast for 24 hours and only eat within a 4-hour eating window. It's time-restricted fasting, and this is really one of the most common ways to do it and one of the most tested. The other kind of fast, this is basically called an OMAD fast, and what that means is 1 meal a day, and that's very simple. So most of the people that do an OMAD fast are really eating in a very small window, in fact, 1 meal. So it's basically you eat for about an hour and that's about it. So this may be 23 hours and a 1-hour eat. Or sometimes people look at it like, well, I've got a 20 and a 4-hour eating window, and they just eat within that 1 meal. So 1 meal a day, it is life-changing. I'll tell you, people who have had so much insulin resistance can't break through that, the weight loss where they just hit that plateau where they can't get through it. A lot of people switch to 1 meal a day. In fact, this is also a variation of what we call the warrior diet. Well, the warrior diet is really where you have during the course of the day maybe some vegetables, maybe some light fruit, and that's about it. And then one big meal, typically for evening, later in the day, and that's when you're going to have a bigger dinner. So it's just basically some little bit of vegetables during the day, and it's just one big meal at the end of the day. So it's technically like a 1 meal a day diet. Next is the 5-2 diet. And well, in the 5-2 diet, you normally eat basically not looking at your calories, you're not cutting calories for 5 days, and then you reduce your calories for 2 days. So 5 of the days you're just eating the way you normally would, not restricting calories. The 2 days you are going to restrict them. Now for women, it's typically where you have only 500 calories over those 2 days, and for men it's 600 calories. Now, you can split up those 2 days any way you like. What if you want to do them one day at the beginning of the week, one day at the end of the week, so maybe a Monday and a Friday? You can do that. What if you want to do 2 days in a row? Well, you can do that. That's really beneficial because now you're really giving your body some time in between. In fact, it's almost acting like as if it's a 24-hour fast there. So there's a lot of benefit to that. So mix it up. See what works best for you. And once again, make sure it fits your lifestyle and your schedule, because a lot of times you can't do a fast because of your schedule, but this is the 5-2 fast. Now, from this, we get a little bit more. This is the eat, stop, eat fast. Okay, I know it sounds like, what are you talking about? Who's making up that name? It sounds too bizarre, but eat, stop, eat, where you fast for 24 hours a day, 1 to 2 days a week. So you might have an eat day, a fast day, eat, fast, and then eat again. So basically, you have 2 days in here where you're not eating for 24 hours. Now, for those of you who may think that sounds extreme, check this out. You can do it this way. You can have a dinner and then the next day have a dinner. Okay, so you technically are eating in those 2 days, but it's a dinner to a dinner. So there's a 24-hour gap. So what if you have dinner on a Monday and then you don't eat until dinner on Tuesday? Technically, it's 24 hours. There's your fast, but you're getting to eat both days, so it's really not that bad. You may want to try it out. And you don't have to do 2 days. If you just want to start off with one, start with one, work up to 2. And by the way, with a lot of these fasts, if you can't start off even with the first one where we talked about a 16-8, then start off with a 12-hour fast. Whatever you can start just to get your foot in and just jump into the, the shallow end, and then you work your way up to the deep end. So maybe with this one, you just want to do 2 days of fasting, 1 day, and then work up to 2. Next, we have the alternate day fast, where basically you're eating, fasting, and so on. So every other day you're eating and every other day you're fasting. So this works extremely well too, because like I said before, you're giving your body a break in between, and this is really geared the way our ancestors ate, where maybe they didn't eat every single day, and they would have a big catch, find a big, an animal that they were able to get, and maybe a lot of food they could forage, and a lot of different plant life they were able to get, and then they would have a feast and then maybe not eat for a day. So this is, once again, the way our bodies are designed. And so many times I hear people saying, it drives me nuts, that ketosis is an extreme state for the body. It's an emergency state. No, it's not. It's the way the body was designed. We were never designed to constantly eat all day long. We were never designed maybe even to eat every single day. We were designed to eat when we could and then not eat and allow our bodies to store what we needed to store and then work it off the next day. So if you didn't eat the next day, you digested, you burned off your storage, and that's the way we were designed. But the way we eat now, we're eating all the time. We store all the time, and most of the time we're keeping our blood sugar levels high and our insulin levels high. So we're always, always, always in storage mode. Remember, I've said this many times, if you are secreting a lot of insulin, you are in storage mode. So this gives our body a break to get out of storage mode and get into burning mode. And that's what you want, right? You want to be burning fat off your body. You want to be a lean, mean fighting machine, and that's what's going to keep you healthy. And that's what gives your body a chance to recycle cells. Like I said, the mitochondria, which are the powerhouses within your cells, work a whole lot better when they're on this type of eating window, eating schedule, and gives your body a chance to make ketones. Your brain works better off of ketones. Your cells, your mitochondria work much, much better off of ketones than they do off of glucose. So this kind of stuff, all these different fasts I talked about are all geared for that. So I hope you jump in. I hope you try this out. Try out any one of these fasts. Maybe just, hey, mix it up a little bit. I always recommend my patients mix it up. Maybe you want to do some intermittent fasting during the week, maybe 3 days a week. Do the time-restricted fast where you don't eat for 16 hours and then eat for 8. And then maybe every other week or so throw in a 24-hour fast. And then maybe once a month throw in a 2 or 3 day fast. Whatever you pick. But try these different kind of fasts out, because the magic really happens when you get into the longer fast. That's where it really makes a difference in your life, and that's where you're going to really see a lot of cell changes and changes to your biology, just like Elise did. Okay, so anyway, I hope this is great information for you, and I hope you watch to the end so that way you can get all this valuable information that will absolutely save, change, and transform your lives. Well, this is Dr. Nick. I love and appreciate you. Thank you so much. And hey, by the way, I've mentioned it on other videos too. If you guys are looking for some extra help and you're struggling with this and you can't figure out the meals and the meal planning and the shopping list and how do I calculate my macros, check out our course. We've got the most amazing course we put together. It is the definitive, I'm telling you, the most comprehensive course out there. It's called Ultimate Keto with Dr. Nick, and I'll put the link right below so you can check that out. But anyway, if you want more help, great. Let us know. We'll be glad to help you out. If not, if you're a self-starter, then by all means, just keep watching the videos and learn. And thank you so much for watching us. I love and appreciate you. This is Dr. Nick. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.